Yo, what's up, guys? This is Kid and Kam podcast. We're just gonna give a little update on the NFL real quick. You know, some things going down. It's what is it? Thursday night?
Yeah.
Yes, Thursday night.
So, well, not really.
So we
Friday
just had
morning, technically.
Yeah. So we just had the Thursday night game go down with the Cardinals and the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks just won. But we just want to give a little update on the league, how we think it's shaping out. Give our thoughts on some teams, some rankings, some head coaches, some quarterbacks, some injuries. We're just gonna give it all for you right now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off with the Steelers.
Yes, sir.
Me and Dimitri feel a certain way about the Steelers and how the rest of the league doesn't. Personally, for me, I feel like they're one of the most underrated, undefeated teams up to this point in the league. We haven't seen a team start out 9-0 and be as underrated as the Steelers have.
Yeah, but I think there's reasons that they are. I think there's a reason people are calling the Steelers overrated. And, from a lot of perspectives, I can see that. Being a Steelers fan, I see every game. I know what's going on. I'm watching this team week in, week out. And to be honest, there's a lot of reasons why people call the Steelers overrated. I can understand why they call the Steelers overrated. But at the end of the day, we're 9-0. They say it's the schedule. They say it's who we play. We getting lucky. The referees, yeah, whatever. Cool beans. 9-0. You get in an argument. I get in arguments with people on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh wow, their schedule's too easy." And I just reply, and I'm like, "Okay, cool, yeah, we're 9-0. So your team isn't."
Ravens don't matter. 9-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Lakers in 4.
Facts.
That doesn't remind me of that.
But the thing is the reason why I feel like people are calling the Steelers overrated is because we've only had, out of 9 games, we've only had one complete game. Out of all 9 games we played, we've had one complete game. We almost lost to the Broncos. We struggled against the Giants, and we were kind of I'm not gonna say we got lucky with the Ravens. That was just a comeback. That was classic Ben. But I do have to talk about the Cowboys, because that game was pretty pathetic from an entire aspect. Our defense played great, but our offense just looked lackluster, and it carried over, and it carried over into this next week against the Bengals. Our offense was pretty lackluster for most of the first quarter, I think. We went in halftime up 22-7, and then we finished them off 36-10 or so like that. Which by the way, that score of that Bengals game was funny to me, because back when Joe Burrow beat Georgia, the final score was 37-10. So the Steelers were able to get that 36-10 revenge.
Jesus Christ.
But
I'm still suffering with the pain.
Oh yeah. That pain is still there, sadly.
Pain.
But so the Steelers haven't played really a complete game, and although we just got done, dominating the Bengals, there was something missing from that game. Like, there's that feeling. Like, have you ever? Well, I can't say, because I've never gone for a team that's just been dominant. You know what I mean? Unless we're saying the Penguins in 2017. Georgia
2017.
Yeah, but I've never, even with that team, I was questionable in some aspects. But I've never gone for a team that I'm like, oh, my team is the best in the league. I know for sure. I have no doubt. Like imagine being a Chiefs fan right now.
I'd love that.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're a Chiefs fan, you're a Bama fan. Like, Bama fans don't really need to watch football until the SEC championship?
Games, like the big games come on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Unless they like the rivalries.
Yeah, unless they like the rivalries. They don't really need to watch the games. But for me, I feel like I need to watch every game, because you never know what's going to happen. And saying that, like I said, what was missing from the Steelers is they don't have a run game. The Steelers have no run game. I've said this for a long time, that James Conner wasn't the answer. And I think the fact that we didn't try to fix the run game in the draft, I feel like that has now come back to hurt us. And I feel like it will hurt us when we get to the playoffs, because teams are starting to see, well, this team can't run the ball. And I feel like that's why games are so tough in the beginning, because we try to run the ball and it's stopped. And then we Randy Finkner calls these trash plays that don't work. and they get shut down. That's why all of our games start off so close. That's why we start losing in the beginning of games. You know what I mean? It's like the Titans. You know, with the Titans, we were at what, 27-7. We blew that lead, almost lost. You know, missed field goal kept it from going to overtime. And it's, you know, it gets to a point where it's kind of sad. You know what I mean? Like, the Steelers have what it takes to be this great team. We have, I think, the best defense in the league. I don't know if you'd agree.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think the Steelers have the best defense in the league. And yet they're sitting here picking up pieces that the offense doesn't have. You know, we need those turnovers to get touchdowns. You know, we're kicking way too many field goals. And I've been saying that for a long time. I think the Steelers, honestly, I'm not even like, listen, I'm not even saying this because it's the only offense I really watch. But there's just no way you can convince me that there's an offensive coordinator in the league worse than Randy Finkner. There's just no way you can convince me that there's an offensive coordinator that's bad at play calling that's worse than Randy Finkner. Can you do that?
My bad. Let's see. I mean, Atlanta?
No.
Question mark?
No. But the thing with Atlanta, they have a good offense. They do have a great offense. They just don't have the coach. They don't. Yeah, I mean, it's not really Atlanta's offense, to be honest. It's their defense.
The Chargers, they have an amazing team. They just don't win games.
Yeah.
They've always been like that
for
some reason.
They don't have that luck factor, you know, really taunting.
I mean, they don't have the coach either. I don't think Anthony Lynn's the guy to do it, but that's another topic.
They definitely not going to fire him after this season.
Oh. Duh.
Definitely not. They're gonna try to add some more pieces.
He's got a brand new quarterback.
Yeah. Because they're almost there. They should have beaten the Buccaneers. They blew that game. You know what I'm saying? That Lions game, he drops a touchdown.
I seen a thing, and it was like games decided with one score or something like that. Like with them being with one score.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was something. It was like games where they only trailed by one like possession or something like that. And it was like the team's record. It was like the Steelers 9-0. Chiefs, it was like something. It was like, you know, it was obviously the Chiefs record, something like that. And the only other team on there was the Chargers, and it was like 2-4. And you're just like, bro, come on, man. Like the Chargers, they're just like, I don't know what it is. They have a good quarterback, Justin Herbert. Everybody knew he was going to be a good quarterback coming out of college. You have a stellar defense. I don't understand how you could build that good of a defense and it not produce the way it should.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you got pieces all over the field, and you just don't win. You can't blame it on the fan base. You really can't. Come on now, if you a baller, you a baller. You gonna win the game.
Right.
I just don't even. You go out there and you lose every single game after you've had like a lead at one point in the game.
Yeah, that takes me to that Buccaneers. I think that Buccaneers game was probably the worst. I remember seeing the scores it was like 24-7. I'm like, oh well, Tom Brady, they lost this one. Nope. They won.
Tom Brady and Gronk's back are built different.
Yeah, his back. Gronk's literally, his back is literally hurt from carrying Tom Brady.
Oh,
come on. His back is literally hurting from that.
It's up after every play. My back. My back.
But
oh my goodness. Speaking of Tom Brady, Gronk, it came from the Patriots. The Patriots without Tom Brady era's over. Gronk era. That's a different topic. Yeah. Anyways, Tom Brady, it's over in New England. They are struggling without him. They started out good. I think they started out 3-0, didn't they?
The Bucks? No,
the Patriots.
This season.
Patriots? Didn't they start out 3-0?
I'm 100% sure they did not.
I could have sworn they did.
No, I don't. No. They were. Remember, because they lost to the Seahawks in week 2.
Oh, well, either way, they were playing really good.
I remember they played the Chiefs. They lost that game too.
They were playing pretty good for what they were. You know what they had. Cam Newton was playing out of his mind. Cam Newton was playing better than he normally does.
He started when he played at the beginning of the season. He played pretty bad. He's been playing pretty good the last 2 weeks. I mean, they just beat the Ravens. I mean, I like what I've been seeing from him. The Patriots are still bad, like on a very strict level. They're awful.
There was trade talks with I think it was like Stephon Gilmore or something like that to some team. I forget what. I seen it was like a while back. Seen
Oh,
trade
yeah,
talks
yeah,
between
yeah.
that.
It was to the Titans, I think. No, not the Titans.
It's the Titans.
No, who was it? Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Who? Wait, hold on.
If it wasn't the Titans,
It wasn't them. It wasn't no one in the division.
no.
Definitely wasn't the Packers.
I
Definitely
don't think
wasn't
it
the
was.
Steelers.
I don't think it was Seattle. I'm sure it had to be the Titans. It had to be. It has
I
to be
think
the
it
Titans.
was.
Yeah,
I think it was.
because in the Titans,
Either way,
I
it didn't
think after
happen.
they didn't get the Stephon Gilmore trade, they pulled the trigger on the Desmond King trade. Which, by the way, the Chargers must be in
Underrated
rebuild
trade.
mode, even though they don't
They
really
they
need
gave
to
up
be.
Desmond King.
They gave up
I would give
Desmond
him
King.
Casey Hayward. Come on, man. Desmond King.
I
he
wouldn't
was
have traded
so
anyone
underrated
from
coming
their
out of college.
defense, to be honest. Especially not
Dude was
Desmond
goated.
King. But I think they said it's because he wanted a contract and they didn't think he'd be heading back, so they just traded
I
him.
wouldn't go back to Chargers either way. How good of a team they had, and they just keep losing.
The Chargers are on the upside though. If I'm a fan, I'm curious. I think the Chargers got something going here.
Yeah,
They just need
I could
they need to get that offense going. You know?
They need to get their offense going and their defense built up like a brick wall
Yeah.
to just stop other offenses from scoring because that's their weakness right now. They put up them points, but their defense just sells them every game.
Yeah, which is weird
It's
because
terrible.
didn't the Chargers have like this world class defense a few years ago? Like that year they were actually
They had
good.
Joey Bosa,
Yeah.
Melvin Ingram was playing good. Casey Hayward was like the top corner in the league.
Yep.
Not like in the league, but like statistically,
Yeah,
he was
and,
top corner.
and you had a rookie Desmond King who was dominating. His first
Derwin
pick was a pick
James.
6. Yeah, yeah. Like what happened? Are these guys playing? I haven't heard about them at all. You just said Derwin James, and I'm just thinking to myself like I haven't heard this guy's name all season. Like, is he playing or is he hurt?
That's like the thing with Jamal Adams. Everybody's like, him going to Seahawks. Everybody was like, oh, the Seahawks defense is about to get turned. They about to get piped up, and then like everybody's like, the Seahawks defense is just horrible,
Yeah,
and like they can't play. And then they like clown Jamal Adams because like he missed the tackle. Like he legit just stood there.
I saw that. I know what you're talking about. I think they said it was because he was battling an injury. He came into that game with an injury, and then someone said it's the defensive coordinator is making the players play bad because he's not setting them up for success. Because he said Bobby Wagner isn't playing good as well either. It's like no one on that Patriots defense is even playing close to good, bro. That defense is horrible.
What's it called? Yeah, I seen it was like a thing on don't know what page it was on Instagram, but it was like something about Jamal Adams. He was like, I was battling depression in New York, and like he was saying something. He was like, it got so bad to the point where like after a loss, I'd go in my room sitting there, dark, nothing happening, just me just sitting there staring at the wall in the darkness. And then he was like, my dad would call my agent to see if I could get traded because he didn't like seeing me like that. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, look, I know how depression works. Don't get me wrong. I know that money doesn't make you happy. I understand that. But, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird how the brain works. But, at the end of the day, it sucks to be on a team that isn't winning. Come on.
It does. I can see where he's coming from.
Listen, you know how I be on MLB The Show, man. When the Athletics aren't winning,
The Show, man.
that it makes you so furious because it's not like other sports games.
But you're loyal though. You in the offseason, you was like, I hate this team, but I want to stay.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you
That's
realize
it,
what's
bro.
better for you, and I think Jamal realized that it's better for him to not be in New York. But it's weird how the brain works.
Yeah, but he's good now. So I mean,
Yeah, he's
big
good
ups
now.
to that.
He's
It's good that he
doing
got
his thing.
good.
He's on a team that could potentially win a Super Bowl.
Win a Super Bowl.
So,
Yeah.
It's good to see that.
I mean, they got to get through my go pack go. No, I'm just kidding. We kind of trash. Not gonna count.
I think they'll get through that
let's
defense,
see.
but at the same time, I think y'all will get through their historically bad defense.
This is the thing with the Packers.
Okay.
Defense last year, better than ever. It's the best defense we've had since 2010. That's when we had Charles Woodson. Sam Shields was playing at his best. We had B.J. Raji.
Right.
Man, fell off the earth. I don't even know where he went. He retired or something.
Possibly.
And, we get this defense now that we have Kenny Clark, Jair Alexander. Kevin King even played good last year. I've already said this on this podcast before of how I've gone through all of this. And it was like, our team just doesn't play defense anymore. And I mean, I think I'm about 99.9% sure we have the same defense coordinator. It should be like that. I think his name's Mike Patine. I don't know. He was a Browns head coach at one point. He coached the defense really good last year. Don't know what happened now. But our offense is on a roll. Our offense is looking really good. You know, Aaron Rodgers is playing like Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. Expected. We have some holes. Number one being running back. I'm not saying a hole as in that's a need. I'm saying as in they need to play better. Aaron Jones is not cooking like he was last year. Again, our offense was very simple last year. I watched a video all about it. I watched the film on it. It was, just screen passes to Aaron Jones. That's all it was. Of course, yeah, he made stuff happen with his legs, but it was just screen passes. If you can stop a screen pass, you're stopping our offense. Let's be honest here. And that's why we've been throwing over the top a lot to Devontae Adams. He had like 14 targets, something like that. And he had like 83 yards. And then Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I believe he's one of the most underrated receivers. I told you this before. He had 4 catches, 100 and something yards.
Let me tell you what I think about MVS, right? So you say he's underrated, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like when Juju was popping off his rookie and his sophomore year with 1,500 receiving yards, I was like, yeah, Drew Brees is this underrated wide receiver. I said Drew Brees. Juju is this underrated wide receiver. That was until Antonio Brown left and he became the best. He became number 1 wide receiver. You also have to look at who his quarterback is. Come on.
Look, here's why I gotta say that, okay? The one time he was able to be number 1 wide receiver, he got hurt. And the one person that stepped up is another underrated receiver, Alan Lazard. He's a baller. He stepped up, he played number 1, and he was balling. You can't tell me he wasn't. Go check the stat sheet. New Orleans. The Saints.
I mean, it's not a player they game plan against, though. And your quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I mean, I can understand that, but either or. I mean, you going up against a team, their top 2 receivers, in quotation marks, are out. You're going to game plan on the third string.
You're not going to game plan against the wide receivers. You're going to game plan your D-line getting to Aaron Rodgers to interrupt his throws and close in the pocket. You're not worried about, come on. Now, yeah, exactly. I'm sleeping. Now, if Devontae Adams is on the field, oh, yeah, we got to make sure we keep a safety on him. We got to make sure we're not allowing him to get inside.
We still won the game. The Saints, we still won the game. Who cares? If they had Michael Thomas, they would have won, but he wasn't there. Either or. Drew Brees is hurt now. They were so dominant. He's hurt now. How you feel about that? I think it's like a rib injury. Something like that.
Come on, man.
Taysom Hill? Taysom Hill time?
No.
Taysom Hill era started?
Not even Taysom Hill, the GOAT. Jameis Winston, baby.
Oh, I forgot he's on the Saints.
Yes, sir. He eats dubs.
He's about the dog.
He's
dubs. About the dog.
He going to throw about 20 touchdowns, but he going to throw about 20 picks as well. And that's all right. As long as they win the games. And I think he can win.
Dubs.
You
think Jameis can win?
With the Saints? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's their schedule looking like?
You think that Jameis can win with the Saints the way Teddy Bridgewater did?
Let's take a look at the Saints' next 4 games, okay? The games Drew Brees is expected to miss. Falcons, Broncos, Falcons, Eagles. Come on.
Eagles catching a dub on that. No, I'm just kidding.
You've lost your mind. You've lost your mind. Man,
because I feel like they would go with Taysom Hill.
They're not going to go with Taysom Hill. But I think he'll get snaps. But I think Jameis Winston has to start. Come on. I mean, who came in when Drew Brees went down?
Who came in? I don't know. I didn't watch the game. I was working, man.
I mean, that's important.
I'm securing a bag, man. Come on now. Securing a bag. I looked down at my phone. It's like, this just in. Drew Brees fractured ribs. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, they put Jameis Winston in. Taysom Hill didn't throw a single pass, but James Winston went 6 for 10 for 63 yards. Not bad.
Did he throw a pick?
No, not bad,
and
right? He didn't throw a touchdown. I think he has to throw a touchdown. It'll activate his pick throwing. I'm pretty sure.
X Factor activated.
But yeah, Drew Brees was having a game
my
too. I mean, this is.
Yeah, it's crazy because they just got healthy. They was dominating.
They just got
It
healthy.
looked like they were the best NFC team.
But
To be honest, it looked like they were the best.
the good thing is the Saints are set up for the playoffs. So I mean, all Jameis has to do is not come in and lay an egg, and the Saints will be all right.
It's Jameis Winston.
Jameis
last
Winston.
pass of last year.
If I was them, I'd be
Pick 6.
trying to win the division so they could play in New Orleans. For the first game. That's what I'd be trying to do. Hopefully, they got the Buccaneers just slowly crawling them down.
They got the brand new Falcons.
Yeah, the new look Falcons, who actually look pretty good. Come on, in recent
They
weeks,
did look pretty
in
good.
recent weeks,
The only week
good.
I did watch them was the Vikings, and they did look pretty good in that game.
Yeah, they look.
I don't know
Yeah,
if they won or not, but
they've looked really good.
Time I watched it.
They got this new. They got the new. It's sad to see that.
It's sad to see when you get fired and your assistant does better. That's what it's sad.
And
that's what's sad.
Honestly, that made me think of that Kirby Smart conversation me and you had a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking about that with Dan Quinn. Like Dan Quinn goes to the Super Bowl in his second year, he blows this lead. He loses Kyle Shanahan, and he has no idea what he's doing. I'm talking about the Falcons just fall off the face of the earth. That's something to think about. You got to think about how much was Dan Quinn actually doing,
Well, the main thing about that Atlanta Falcons team was the offense, and Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. They had a good defense,
I
too,
think
though.
it was Kyle Shanahan.
They had a good defense that year. That was the one year I think Dan Quinn actually did something with a defense. Then I think he started losing players, and, Keanu Neal's,
he was straight off
all
that Seahawks pack.
Yeah.
He came from Seahawks as defense coordinator. He's like, I can run this Falcons team.
I can run this Falcons team. But I mean, this new
breeze.
Raheem Morris is 3-1 as the coach, and it could be 4-0 if Ty Gurley knew how to fall at the 1 yard line. But he could be literally 4-0 as a coach right now.
That jump was so painful to watch.
It's so painful, man. Like imagine,
I'm not a Falcon fan, but I feel for him. Bro.
Yeah, like how do you imagine losing your team
the game? How do you screw that
way?
up?
Imagine losing the game.
Bro, they were clowning them. They're like, bro, the Falcons legit just lost the game by scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, come on.
That drive me dead, bro. And then they released the huddle talk, and Ryan was like, "Don't score.
Don't score. Scores. I'm dead."
Oh, that jump's funny. Anyways, let's see. Rookie quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I feel there's a lot of disrespect on one of them. Not really disrespect, but not enough respect, I should say. That's Joe Burrow.
Oh no. We not going to allow no disrespect on Joe Burrow. However, we is gonna smoke that Joe Burrow pack. Yes, sir. That Joe Burrow pack is in the air tonight, boy.
Look, this is all I'm gonna say. Look. If I had to rank top 3 quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks right now, I mean, if you take wins into account, it goes Burrow,
come on,
Tua, Herbert.
Come on.
If you don't put wins in it, or if you put wins in it, it goes Tua, Burrow, Herbert, because Herbert should have so many more wins. So he just keeps.
You said
losing.
Tua?
It's not his fault though. Tua. If we talking about wins, Tua, he undefeated as a starter.
Don't worry, I'm not worried about his wins, bro. A lot of that.
I said if we go on by wins,
a lot of his wins are his defense.
I mean, but still,
two of his drives in his last game started from the 1 yard line. But let's go back to you even putting Burrow over Herbert. I know. I know Herbert's team is 2-7, but listen, Herbert is just playing on a different level right now.
But Herbert got Keenan Allen, bro. Burrow has T. Higgins.
Burrow has AJ Green. Did we forget about him? Because I did actually.
Dude, come on, man. He fell off the face of earth.
Yeah. And I was just about to say that. Like I saw this man on the field again in that game on Sunday, and I was like, he's playing. It was like the third quarter. He's
playing.
It was the third quarter, and they threw to him, and I was like, oh my. I was like, bro, what happened to AJ Green? I felt so bad for him.
College, man, being a Georgia fan,
it's crazy. It's crazy because like
started
literally
watching college football.
Yeah, it's crazy because like literally like what 3 years ago, when the Bengals are decent,
like 4 years ago when they were really good.
Yeah,
he was a top 3 wide receiver.
Yeah, dude was a beast. And then this
arguably,
and it's like the Bengals' best quarterback. Best wide receiver now is what? Who? T. Higgins.
It's
kind of sad, man. Like, or Tyler Boyd. He's been doing great.
He's pretty good. Tyler Boyd's pretty good.
It's kind of.
Either way, none of those wide receivers are better than Keenan Allen.
Yeah, no. Definitely not.
Or Mike Williams.
Keenan Allen's top 5. But, he definitely had. Wait, who?
Mike Williams. Is he hurt or something? Is that why you look like that?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna take Tyler Boyd over Mike Williams. I'm
You
sorry.
take Tyler Boyd over Mike Williams?
Yes.
I don't know about that, man.
Tyler Boyd has the most yards out of the slot this season. Come on. He's making a way bigger impact than Mike Williams is. I guarantee you that. I'll take him any day. Thank you.
Shoot, either or, you're not winning games.
That's free money.
Either way, you're
Bigger
not
impact.
winning games.
But yeah, back what you said, man. Herbert's just playing on a different level. I got to disagree with that. Now, Joe Burrow's dominant too. They kind of match up evenly stat wise, but I'm giving the edge to Herbert. Herbert, man, he's just making way better throws. He's just looking better as a quarterback right now. But Joe Burrow is still that guy. He wasn't against that Steelers top defense, so 21 for 40, 213 yards, pack floating in the air. Come on, man. We was smoking that.
Well, let me re-rank them.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Tua.
Yes.
Number 2, Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Jordan Love. Come on now.
Yes, sir.
Should have expected that.
I mean, we haven't even. Come
Jordan
on.
Love.
He hasn't played yet, but we already know.
He's a dog.
We already know he's a dog. Now, let me say this real quick. I think when it comes to success-wise in the NFL, I think Tua will have the most success. And I'm not even just talking about stats. I'm talking about awards, accolades, Super Bowls. Who knows? I'm saying that. I don't see the Bengals being a threat anytime soon, especially not with this dude they call Zach Taylor. He's not a good coach, to be honest. I'm sorry. He's just not. I was watching the game on Sunday, and his game plan just looked whack. His game plan, whack. His team, whack. He hasn't done anything for the Bengals. You see what Brian Flores is doing right now for the Dolphins in his second season. So I don't understand what Zach Taylor's doing. You usually give the head coach the first season. The first season's typically a warm-up. You know what I mean? Some guys do come in their first season and just get straight to, action. But
the thing is that Brian Flores, he came in that first year, and even this isn't that big of a deal, but Madden even had the Dolphins as the worst team. So, obviously the Dolphins are the worst team. The Dolphins were technically the worst team, worst roster last year, if we're being honest. They had the worst roster.
Yeah.
And this man comes in there and he wins, what was it, like, how many games was it? Like 4 or 5?
Last year, it was pretty low.
But, still, they weren't even expected to do that.
Yeah,
4 or 5
and it was crazy because a lot of people,
like 2 or 3.
He was like in the top 5 nominations for Coach of the Year, and I'm like, why are people saying this guy should be Coach of the Year? His team sucks.
He did pretty good.
Yeah, and it's crazy because now I'm seeing it. I'm like, oh, maybe this guy is a good coach.
It took him 1 year. He signed wasn't it Byron Jones?
Mm-hmm.
He had Xavier Howard playing out of his mind, best corner last year.
Xavier Howard had
most
already
interceptions. Most interceptions.
Xavier Howard already hit his stride before Brian Flores was brought in. He's been dominating for about 3 years now. Probably the year before they brought in Brian.
He had most interceptions last year.
He started looking good. Yeah.
Most interceptions last year.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then you have all these rookie young linebackers that you got, and you got them playing really good. I mean, he's a defensive minded coach. Obviously, I think he was the linebackers coach at New England? I think he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Dolphins somehow, I don't know what they did. They pulled something. They got the best position head coach ever from the Patriots. I mean, you got Matt Patricia out here laying eggs.
Yep.
You got dude in New York, what's his name? Joe Judge.
Oh god.
Terrible.
Awful. I mean, Mike Vrabel's doing good.
Mike Vrabel's really good.
Yeah.
He's a really good coach. I think he's a very underrated coach too.
You know who I was just thinking about, honestly? I was thinking about the Cardinals head coach. I forgot his name, but
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah. But how did this man went from getting fired from an NCAA team to
This is what happened. This is his little storyline right here.
Okay.
He went from coaching Johnny Manziel as an offensive coordinator
Yeah.
to coaching Patrick Mahomes as a head coach to getting fired from that team.
Yes.
Then for somehow, like again, pulling something out of a bag.
Yeah.
Arizona's just like, let's pick this dude up. We got the number 1 pick. We knew who he's taking. He already came out and said it before. He's like, if I have the chance, I'm taking Kyler Murray, number 1 overall. Tanks his first year. Because I knew Cliff Kingsbury was a good coach. I knew he was a very offensive-minded, especially the way the game has developed this year.
Yeah, he's really good with quarterbacks. And you see Kyler Murray
he's good with quarterbacks.
Playing great.
He's a good offensive coach. And, obviously he was like, if I had the chance, I'm taking Kyler Murray, number 1 overall. He had the chance. He took it. Paid off for the Cardinals. It's very good. It's paid off for them so good so far. I mean, he's really playing out of his mind. I underrated him. I didn't think he was going to be this good. I knew he was a good quarterback. I didn't think he was going to play this good in the NFL.
I knew he'd be good. I just thought he needed a weapon, and they got it. They got it for who? What? Who? David Johnson?
David Johnson. Not even a first-round pick. I think it was like David Johnson, a third-round pick, bro.
We're smoking that Bill O'Brien pack tonight.
Can I trade you for the arguably best wide receiver in the NFL for this empty bag of chips and this injury-prone running back?
This man Bill O'Brien was literally sitting at home watching this man.
Like,
D-Hop.
I think I won this trade.
Yeah, sitting at home watching D-Hop catch a Hail Mary while he got fired from his team.
Jobless.
Come on, man.
Watching his intern do better than him, honestly.
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Texans are still awful, but you got to think they'll have a top 10 pick this year? Oh, brother.
They'll have a top 10 pick, right?
Brother.
But they don't got no money.
Nah.
They have the most expensive team in the NFL right now. And they can't do anything with it. That's just so sad.
You think Deshaun Watson goes back to that team when his contract is up? You think he resigns?
No.
But where would he go?
Bears.
Oh, Lord.
Imagine the Bears with Deshaun.
Dude, if the Bears get a quarterback, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
They got some weapons on offense, but they have no quarterback. They're literally Georgia. They're literally the Georgia Bulldogs. They got a great defense. They got a great defense, but they got a great offensive players, but no quarterback. If they get a quarterback, oh my goodness. If I was the Bears, I'd be tanking this year. There's too many quarterbacks in this draft for you to be playing as good as you are. You know what I mean?
If I was the Bears, I'd trade for like one of these vets, honestly. I mean, like
Sam Darnold.
Even though
Sam Darnold.
Trade for Sam Darnold.
Yeah, he's going to be on the trade block, obviously, because T Law's going to the Jets. So
the Adam Gase Jets.
So obviously they're going to pull a trigger on a Darnold trade. If I'm the Bears, I'm already talking to him now. Look, I know what's going down. I need Darnold in a Bears jersey next season.
Let's say you're Eric Bieniemy, right?
Yeah.
There's let's say there's a good 70% chance. Deshaun's probably not. This is just common sense. Deshaun's probably not going to go back to Texans. Mm-hmm. From the way that his best friend, basically his best teammates, have been shipped out of there.
Right.
There's no one on the team with him. He's basically going to go back to a trash can. Mm-hmm. You're Eric Bieniemy. Do you go to the Jets, who are about to get Trevor Lawrence? They got, some picks that you could work with.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you go to the Texans, who have no first-round picks, about to lose Deshaun Watson? Only thing you have other than Deshaun Watson is Laramie Tunsil. I don't even know a single player on their defense.
Well, to be honest, I'm still going to the Texans.
You're going to the Texans?
Listen. Here's my thing. The Jets have no offensive weapons. They have that good rookie lineman. Other than that, what's his name? Mikhail Becton. Listen.
Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, listen. The Jets have no offensive weapons. If I'm a head coach, listen. They have no offensive weapons. They have no defensive weapons. The Texans are have a pretty decent offense. A pretty bad defense, but they actually have a decent enough offense that I feel like I could come in and make an impact early. It wouldn't take too much to build that Texans team up. If you get the Texans built up how they were, let's say last year,
you can't build
year
them.
Before,
you can't build them none. You have too much salary cap on your hands that's already spent.
Listen, he can get that team right.
Even if you're saying that, salary cap's nothing, they got to deal with luxury tax too. And they got to deal with these players that they're still having to pay because of this money that they guaranteed them.
Well, let's be real here. If I'm Eric Bieniemy, obviously, you're going to be interviewed by multiple teams, but who's to say he wouldn't be going to a team that could be scary if he gets there? The Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons. Yes, I'd love to see him go to the Falcons.
Imagine how dangerous that is. Like I said, the Falcons already have the offensive pieces in place. Get Eric Bieniemy there. Hopefully, he can find a good defensive coordinator.
They have a starting level tight end in Hayden Hurst. I think he's a good starter.
Yeah,
he's a decent starter. They have Calvin Ridley.
Yep.
Julio.
Todd Gurley, who's actually been playing pretty good.
They drafted their wide receiver, didn't they? Didn't they just get another wide receiver?
No, I don't know, but I know with their first round pick, they took AJ Terrell from Clemson.
They took AJ Terrell. No, they have one receiver who's going off. His name's like Russell Gage or something like that. Todd Gurley.
Yeah, he's a speed guy.
You got Matt Ryan, who can still throw the ball.
Matt Ryan's the most underrated quarterback in the league.
You got an aging offensive line, but they're still playing good.
Good enough.
Your defense, you got young talent, Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, who's injury prone at this point.
Yep.
He's like a JJ Watt at this point. AJ Terrell, even though I watched the Falcons game.
But like that's my thing. Like all Bieniemy has to really do if he goes to the Falcons is bring in a good defensive guy. Bring in somebody who's good with defense. And that's it. He's good. And that's scary. That's scary. That's a scary sight for the especially for the NFC South, which is like a powerhouse now, with the Saints, Bucks, and then potentially could be the Falcons. RIP the Panthers. I'm surprised Christian McCaffrey re-signed. No idea why he would do that.
Christian McCaffrey on the Texans, dangerous.
Free Christian McCaffrey. He'll probably be requesting a trade soon. I don't know. That's really not in his character. You think? It's not really in his character.
I feel like he's a very loyal player. He's gonna be like, I think I ride with them.
Yeah, he
went to Stanford.
Couldn't be me.
Come on, man.
Couldn't be me.
Their Stanford boys are they too loyal. They too smart.
Right.
They got all that guaranteed money in front of them. They're not gonna give it up.
All right, so we only got two more topics: Ravens and the Bills. We briefly went over the Ravens, but we honestly should talk about them a little bit more.
The main reason we have them on this list is because they were ranked above the Steelers.
They were ranked above the Steelers in a draft. It's PFF, and the Saints. It's in the Packers. It's PFF, but they do all the stats and whatever. But
they grade players and all that.
Yeah, but we cannot ignore that Baltimore is bad. Like, and let me not say bad. They're just not what we saw from Baltimore last year. Even though they had that iconic first round choke, what we saw from Baltimore last year was just exceptional play. However, this year it's pretty bad. I mean, the Steelers are outscoring them by nearly 30 points. The Steelers, and now don't get me wrong, the Steelers have a great offense, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, Big Ben has worked his magic, but the Ravens have only scored 244 points, 9 games. They're pretty lackluster, and now the Steelers have a 3.5 game lead in the NFC North standings, and I don't know, man. Look, listen. I'm a Steelers fan, so obviously I hate Baltimore with a passion. When they lose, it brings me happiness. But if I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, how are you looking at this team?
This is the thing. The Ravens, every time they play a top team, it seems like they choke. It's just that simple. If you can't beat the top teams, then you shouldn't be ranked with the top teams. I mean, me and you say this all the time with Georgia. We can't win those big games, obviously. It looks like it. The only time we've won a big game was Oklahoma, the Rose Bowl. The only time we've ever won a big game, it seems like. And we honestly should have won the national championship, but that's a different topic.
Yeah.
But, if you can't win against these big teams, the powerhouses, the top dogs, then you shouldn't be ranked among them. And the Ravens have lost to the Steelers and the Chiefs this year, yet they're ranked above the Steelers and one spot under the Chiefs. And above the Saints, who just came off of a dominant fashion win against, the Buccaneers? Fully healthy.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. I looked at that and I was just like, this is... and then Packers are in the top 5. I don't see how that is even a thing, honestly. I think the Bills are better than us. I'm probably just underrating my team or overrating my team, or I think we're overrated or something like that. But I think the Bills are better than us. They got better. Their players are playing better than us.
Yeah.
There's just, I can name, Seahawks. I think they're better than us. There's just certain teams I think that are better than us that if we went head to head with them, they'd probably win. But we're ranked ahead of them. I think PFF is just grading it on. They take all the players that's on that team.
They got to be doing the players or something.
Because there's no way that you rank the Ravens second.
Yeah.
And the Packers fifth. There's just no way.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks isn't even on that list, and the Bills aren't even on that list. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think, and you talked about their losses against good teams, the Chiefs and the Steelers, but you didn't mention their last loss, which was to the Patriots, the 4-5 Patriots, who were 3-5 when they faced. Did you seriously lose to the rebuilding Patriots?
You lost
the opt-out Patriots, not the New England Patriots, the opt-out Patriots. They got like 6 players opt out on their defense, and you mean to tell me you can't? You scored 17 points against the Patriots. Their leading rusher was Lamar Jackson with 55 yards. Come on.
I feel like that's what the Ravens honestly need. They need a running back, and they need another wide receiver.
They let this man Cam Newton beat them, only throwing 118 yards.
That's how they pay. Come on, man. That's how every Cam Newton team wins, man. Come on now.
It's pathetic, And this, what was it? Was it like 23? It was actually and it's crazy because they couldn't even score in the fourth quarter. No one scored in the fourth quarter, so it was just defense. It's pretty pathetic, man. Like the Ravens were just a way more dominant team last year. With Lamar Jackson being MVP caliber, he's just not showing that this year. Sadly, he's not. But the Ravens have this great defense, but it's their offense that's holding them back. And then you got Marquise Brown tweeting that why not use your soldiers if you got them. But my thing is like they have all this. Marquise Brown hasn't really lived up to his hype, what he was expected to come in and do. So honestly, I feel like that sucks for the Ravens. But the Ravens got the talent. They need to figure it out. Maybe it's the coach, but obviously I don't think they're going to ever do anything with Harbaugh. He's won them a Super Bowl. I think they're happy with what he's doing, but he could be doing a little bit more.
Yeah. Another team that I was talking about whenever I was going on my little, I wouldn't say a rant, but my little explanation. The Bills. I feel like they have that's another underrated coach, Sean McDermott. He's done an amazing job over there.
Right.
He's turned them around. Josh Allen. I said he was the best quarterback in his draft class. I wasn't right, but I wasn't wrong. If you know what I'm saying? He's up there. Right now it's honestly looking like I take Josh this season. I take Josh Allen over Lamar easily.
Yeah.
Either way, Josh Allen's playing at an exceptional level.
Yeah.
He finally has a target, Stephon Diggs. I've seen Cole Beasley playing. He can run some routes. Let's see, they got that new tight end, Dawson Knox, I think his name is. He's playing good. They're just an all-around. Buffalo's a very slept-on team. They aren't a big market team, so they aren't talked about as much as all the other teams, even if they're doing good.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Bills, their defense has been very underrated because Sean McDermott, he's a defensive-minded coach. He's had, even though he got the Hail Mary snag on him, Tre'Davious White, he's a beast. Had to mention that. You had to drop it one time, the Hail Mary. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, Tre'Davious White, he's a beast. That defense is really coming to a hole over these past few years. I feel like it's been one of the most slept-on defenses next to the Titans. That's another slept-on defense. But I feel like this Bills team, it's something to look out for in the playoffs. I feel like they could pull off an upset against a team who you'd be expecting to just blow out the Bills. So, I'm just calling an early prediction right there. Bills are going to blow somebody out in the playoffs.
Yeah, I look at the Bills as maybe I'm going to say third best team in the conference. But I disagree with what you said about their defense. Actually, I feel like their defense is the one thing that can scare you. And it's the fact that their offense is a little inconsistent. their offense was more consistent, they could honestly be 10-0 right now, undefeated with the Steelers. But their offense kind of, it's good. They have these big breakout games, but then that's some games they're a little inconsistent. With how Josh Allen plays. He had like 2 bad weeks and they lost, and now he's playing good again. But their defense has allowed 265 points, surprisingly more than the Packers. So if you think your defense is bad, your Packers have only allowed 224 points. So your defense ain't that bad. And their plus differential is only 7. So it's something you want to look at. Definitely need to become a more complete team. Yeah, I mean, the Rams are putting up 35. Titans put up 42. Titans absolutely murked them. And you got to think that was the COVID game. Titans Bills. That was the first game the Titans played coming off of that COVID bye week that they got. When they got the Steelers game postponed. Frustrating
Almost
game.
Won that one.
But and the Titans blew them out 42-16. So like I said, man, next week they score 17 points against the Chiefs. Then the next week they escape the Jets 18-10. It's it's a scary sight. You get Josh Allen playing a little down for 3 weeks. Then he gets back on it. Loses to the Cardinals in a game they could have honestly won. But like I said, their defense is just so inconsistent. Yeah. Their defense is so inconsistent, man. It's kind of sad. But I mean, like I said, Bills, third best team in the league. So yeah, that's gonna be all for the Kid and Kam podcast NFL segment. This was Table Talk, I think we called it.
Yeah.
Do we like that? Do we like that name, Table Talk? Are we sure we want to keep it?
Yeah.
If we're gonna change it, we'd have to change it like now,
I feel like that's a good name. This is a talk you'd have sitting at a table.
Table Talk.
Table
Talk, the hour Table Talk segment, pretty much. But it's called Table Talk.
Hour
it was quick Table
hour?
Talk, but I was like, Table Talk sounds better.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, the social media is going to be linked down in the description. If you guys want to learn more, go ahead and click on the channel, subscribe for more. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and this has been Kid and Kam.